All right, everybody. I'm so psyched. This is awesome. Every once in a while, you get a chance to talk to somebody who has made an impact on everything. In this case, Geezer Butler, longtime bassist, main lyricist, Black Sabbath. Again, hailed by Rolling Stone as the Beatles of heavy metal, the greatest heavy metal band of all time. Mr. Butler is one of the most influential bassists in heavy metal history, the founding father of that genre. So when you began this journey, could you have ever imagined that if there was a Mount Rushmore for rock and roll, you would be on it?
Not at all. We thought we'd last maybe 2 years and then we'd have to get proper jobs.
Yeah, but you yourself, you're one of the greatest bass players in the history of rock and roll. I mean, you'd be up there on that Mount Rushmore if they had one.
Well, that's what other people told me, but I don't really rate myself that much.
Right.
I just picked up a bass and started playing it, and that was it.
You've got a book out called Into the Void. What are you giving them in this book that they don't already know? Give me something. Is there anything about Tony or Ozzy or Dio in the book that they may not know about?
Probably Tony as a boxer. Dio coming into the band and refreshing everything when we thought the band was finished.
Right.
And glad that Ozzy left the band and became probably bigger than the band itself.
For me, listening to old Ozzy led Sabbath, the melodies, the lyrics, it seemed to me anyway, they're more cryptic, but with Dio, the energy is completely different, like bolder, more ominous. Is that my imagination, or did you specifically do that?
I think because Ronnie wrote his own lyrics, so it was a relief for me,
right,
to not have to write the bass parts and the music and the lyrics. So when Ronnie came in, he took over the lyrics and the melodies and everything. Relief to me.
But the sound is even a little bit different, right?
Yeah, I think Ronnie's approach is totally different anyway,
right.
Which affected the way Tony was. I think Tony was structuring more with chords. We brought in keyboards as well.
Right.
So the whole sound sort of changed.
Black Sabbath music has often been described as having a dark connection, the occult, but I always interpreted it as more of a warning of the ominous side. Can you explain your interest in those types of themes when you wrote for Ozzy and Black Sabbath?
Yeah, it was a warning about. I mean, the actual song Black Sabbath is against getting into black magic and all that kind of stuff, which was really big in England at the time. There was a lot of people getting into black magic, Satanism, and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Horror films were massive around that time, and it was just a phase that people were going through. You know, the people were just sick of having Christianity rammed down the throats for
right.
God knows how long, and people were looking into other things, and eventually people were, it was backfiring on a lot of people. Think bad things started to happen to them that they were getting into the occult.
Right.
So the song Black Sabbath was a warning against getting into any of that kind of stuff.
So I'm sure you get this question ad nauseum, but what album are you the most proud of?
I think Paranoid. I think every song on that is like a great song, 100% song.
Right.
And
if you could do it all over again, would you change anything?
No, because that's the way it should sound. I think if you had more time to record stuff,
yeah,
you'd ruin it, you'd polish it, and you wouldn't have that raw sound.
Right. Why the book now?
Well, a lot of Sabbath fans kept emailing me asking me why I wasn't writing a book, being as I was the main lyricist in the band.
Right.
And they were saying, well, Ozzy's got a book out, Tony's got a book out, why haven't you got a book out? And I hadn't really had time until the pandemic, when in lockdown, and I was stuck at home for like 12 months.
Right.
With nothing to do. And I thought, right, if I'm going to write a book, I'm just going to have a go at it now.
Right.
And I did. I got down to it. My wife read it and said, oh, this is really good, you should publish it. And that's the way it came about.
We're talking to Geezer Butler. I know he doesn't have a lot of time. I just wanted to leave you with this. You guys were my first real show, and you were actually the last show that I ever went to. But just know this, me and most of my closest friends, your album, We Sold Our Souls, the combination of all your greatest hits, is the soundtrack that plays in my head from one of the happiest times in my life when I was in high school. So thank you for that.
Oh, thanks very much, Lee. That's great.
Once again, the book, Into the Void. You can get it anywhere. Amazon.com, your bookstore, wherever you do your book shopping. Ladies and gentlemen, that, at least for me, was a walk down memory lane. The legendary Geezer Butler from arguably the greatest heavy metal band of all time, Black Sabbath. A little nostalgia. I'm a little verklempt. All right, we got to take a break. We'll come right back. You're listening to 94.9 News Now and Stimulating Talk. Not a lot of conservative hosts are going to deliver an interview with Geezer Butler. Don't move. We'll be right back.